Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Hey, it's your host, your girl Eva K, and I am here with the amazing PChase and Quanny B.
It's straight.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening? E, what's happening? Thank you. Look, finally, we finally made it to this moment.
Finally.
Yes.
So look, I have to shout out my sponsors. Thank you, Brandy, over at Takeoff Traveling. Today our food comes from Zoeys Kitchen. Let me tell y'all what I got, because this smells so good. I got shrimp and salmon, some potatoes, some beans, and some little vegetables, a little razzle. What you got?
Yes, I got a chicken kebab, and I have some potato salad, and I have some beans, some white beans.
I got my usual. I got my salmon, my shrimp, my grilled potatoes, and my pineapple, and that good old hibiscus tea.
They are on their healthy stuff for real, honey. This is who I need to be with. So, look, we're going to say our grace and get it in because we got a lot to talk about. Let's bow our head. Now we thank you for our food, Sure. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we thank you. Amen.
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 All right.
Hey, okay. I like that. So, y'all, today my merch comes from No Excuse.
You know what it is.
Give it up for No Excuse.
Excuse.
The brand is straight.
Yes.
The brand. So look, let's start off from the beginning. We're gonna start with you, P.
All right.
Where you grew up at, tell us a little bit about you.
I grew up in Southeast Haiti. No, I'm just messing. Man, I'm born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Austin Holmes, Nelson Circle. Gun zone, man. I am a great product of my environment, if you can say it that way. Been around. My history start from me musically inclined was being in the Kuumba Watoto here in Knoxville and being part of the Kuumba Festival and being one of the top drummers in it. And that was one of the umbrellas that opened up my life towards music, besides my family, my mother singing, my brother singing, and stuff like that. But that's really the origin, man. Knoxville, Tennessee, East Side, my whole life, But I'm good. I'm good everywhere. I try to make friends and make best with everybody and bring positive every step that I take on any person's land. So, hey, I do it for the city, all of us.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's all right.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you.
My daughter's in the Kumba pageant that's coming up. So
Okay.
Real in tune with Kumba,
That's new too, the Kumba pageant. That's new. That's new. That's what's up.
I did West African. I know Miss
Okay.
all them.
All right. Yes.
What about you, Miss Quanny? Where you grew up at? Tell us something about you, girl.
Okay. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. And moved down here in 90 or 91, I believe it was. And I just started and established life here in the South. Mostly all my family's up north. But my mother's here, sister, and I have a brother in Atlanta, but mostly all my family is up north in Pittsburgh. And so I just been here trying to figure things out, life, stay on top of things and be responsible and take care of my responsibilities and, just be great and be better than, yesterday.
Hello.
Be better me.
Word.
Now, how I met Quanny is we worked together at the airport. And girls, there was only so many little black girls there, you know what I'm saying? So we became really cool and,
Really cool, because all I heard about is, baby, I met this girl named Eva, and she is so cool at the airport.
They used to have me cracking up, man. Jeez,
Your energy was just, I used to love when you came to work. Like,
I
could be having a bad day, and you would just come in there and just shine light on just the whole ship.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's get into this. How did y'all union become to be? Because y'all are really, 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 really if you look on Facebook, the internet, anywhere, between Chase in his studio and DJing and Quanny just creating and making your creativity, ma. Ridiculous.
Thank you, baby.
Yes, it is.
Just creating and coming up with different concepts and selling things that nobody else even would think about. The snow globes, the air fresheners. I'm like, man.
Killed them.
She
tell her all the
owns
time.
something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank
she's
you, baby.
legit owning something. So how did y'all meet? You know, tell us about y'all little love story.
You
got it?
Yeah. Yeah, I can. Yeah, you can slide in if you need to.
Okay, go ahead, do your thing.
Well, I met him at a grocery store, actually, corner store. What was it?
RP Sam, man.
Yes,
Balos. RP Sam.
I met him at Balos.
Okay, so you was on the east side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Being hot.
girl, I was going to the store for a friend.
Nah, it's more like me. He was more like me.
But we met there, and it was just like a series of events within that week that he actually reached out to me, and it was so crazy because a few days prior to me actually seeing him, he had sent me a friend request, and I accepted it. You know, kept it moving, and I think a few days after that, all in the same week, I had pulled over and went into Balos to get something for my homegirl that was riding with me at the time. And he was actually standing outside in front of the store. But the whole time when I had pulled in, we kept making eye contact. You know, it was kind of just like he looking at me, I'm looking at him, I'm getting the money together. As I step out the car, I'm still kind of looking up at, he looking at me. So when I got out the car on the way in, he said, hello, hi, you know, don't want to be rude. So I got what I needed, came out the store, and got back in the car. Then we caught eyes again. And then he walked off on the side of the building, and I just pulled off. I think it was later on that night. He jumped in my DM.
Okay, he slid on through.
He jumped in the DM.
And,
like some James Brown shoes.
You know, respectfully, and he just like...
For real.
James Brown, you stupid.
I'm about to die here. For real, I slid in there, mother.
So anyway, he was like, was that you I seen at the store earlier? And I was like, yeah, you know. And I was just like, I'm glad I look like my profile picture. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no catfish.
For real.
And, you know, it just went from there. Very respectful, you know, or whatever. And we kind of just got to chatting. And, you know, I was liking what he was saying. And I was single at the time, you know. So I was just like, I guess, you know, he's saying all the right things. I guess I'll jump back out there and, you know, see what he's talking about. And it just went from there. He just 3 years later, you know, and a baby later, you know.
Your baby is gorgeous. Unity, shout out. The name.
Unity.
How did we come up with Unity? I love it.
You know what? I really don't know how it, like, pondered on me like that. It was just something that was, and I'm going to be honest, I think because of the moment and opportunity I had. So a special bond that me and her carry is our lifestyles as parents wasn't as we expected to encounter as growing up. So one of the things that I haven't encountered with my kids is having a natural birth. All my kids have been C-section. And just being there for her was an experience for her of just having the presence of just having the father there to be able to be there from start to finish, like from pregnancy to hospital, birth. And so a magical moment to me was, and I actually cried, I'm gonna be real about it, when she had the natural birth. It was just, it naturally came out, like the crying naturally came out. Like I was just, it was one of the most joyous moments of my life. And I guess and I think I had the name already together before we went to that moment, but Unity just sat so right with me because I just felt like she was the one. Slick going through other situations with my other kids. So I feel like this child right here, naming her Unity, was going to be my child that was going to put hold to everything, and everybody's going to be one.
The golden child.
Right, the golden child. So this is the one, and Lord, is she the golden child. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Like she's been. I know for a fact this is gonna be a different experience. Just on the experience that she has given the both of us from the 10 months we have had her, I know she is gonna be a very tremendous young lady. I know she is.
I love that. I love that to hear a daddy talk about going through the birthing experience.
Oh God.
Because most guys don't really care or don't pay no attention or it scares them. But to actually hear that you got the emotion of seeing her go through the birth.
Girl, he cried with the ugly cry.
Ugly. I had the most ugliest face ever. You heard?
Yes, he almost made the nurses cry.
I love that. Because look, when we was at the airport, I'm going to tell on you this again. Quanny, I had never seen nobody in love the way she was in love. Like, when y'all went to y'all first trip together.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's all we heard about. She was in love. I was like, y'all kind of look alike. That love, it's like y'all had that natural attraction, that natural chemistry. I love it. So what businesses do y'all have together? Like, what do y'all do? What do you do separately, and then what do y'all do together?
The separation that we have, I started with my IssssStr8 music group, which is for my artistry side of my talent. And then the music went into my IssssStr8 Attire, which is my clothing brand. And in the midst of this, with her having the ideas that she had, we had just had a basic conversation, just have words, just like with No Excuse, we had words and was like, oh, this is it. And she came up with InPress. So it ended up blending to her having the InPress part and me having the IssssStr8 Attire. So once again, it came to one of them moments where we had a round table and she was like, baby, I just got this idea. And this was after the trees. So once she really honestly started seeing herself with the trees and opening that third eye, I think it was it. And then it was like, no excuse. But her thing was like, okay, baby, I got the ideal, but how would I bring this ideal alive? And I was like, you know what? I got it. Let me see what I can do for you. And we came up with No Excuse. So we ended up having, together we have No Excuse. Really, honestly, we got everything together.
Everything's together.
Everything's together. Because at the end of the day, we support each movement. Regardless if it's the clothing line, if it's the music, if it's the InPress, if it's the No Excuse, whatever it is, we going to support it every measure we can get. Because at the end of the day, we're building to break a chain, to break a curse. When I grew up, I didn't get taught what I'm doing now. This is a self-learning thing. So everything that I'm taking in, I'm trying to put to her. And I'm telling her, take this, pass it on. Same thing with my son. Because what I feel as a culture that we slip is we lack a lot of knowledge. And as a culture, we spend our time going to find other stuff than trying to find the right stuff that'll push us where we need to go. Right. So I'm not only trying to shape that with love, family, and everything else, but also trying to build the platform where people see, like, this ain't nothing nobody taught me. This was me actually going out here, being fed up, being done with rock bottom, and being like, look, I'm going to eat, you going to eat, we going to eat, and that's that. So, yeah, it's just a together thing.
I got you. What's your thoughts, Quan?
Honestly, I'm very thankful for him. In the whole entrepreneur, side of the spectrum. Because I always just was told to make sure that you have a 401k, pension, retirement, and you have to work.
Right. That's what we was taught.
Yeah. But as far as like being my own boss and really like trying to buckle down and find myself, he started out at when he came into my life and he brought this about, because it's all him. So like he said, he presented this. Like, look, this is.
It's all us. Because the reason I'm gonna say that, when I started with my music, it was only two people that seen my vision. It was my manager, shout out to Jason Tweed, and it was her. When it was time for me to jump off the porch with my music, she was right there. My
every song.
My biography about me, I didn't write that. She wrote that. So that was the start. Once I seen, she sat down and was like, all right, baby, talk to me. What is it? That let me know right there, okay, come here. I need you. Because I'm not going to lie. It's been females before her that I have told, look, I'm going on this path. I want to settle down. The reason that I want to settle down because if I focus just on you, everything else is irrelevant. Then everything else will come. So they wasn't trying to hear it. So I had to start pushing people to the side. Because if y'all not seeing this, then I'm not going to be able to get to where I need to be trying to have somebody on my side. And I'm damn sure not going to let nobody be lagging and being leech when you're not trying to put no effort in it, too. So when I seen that she sat down and was like, right, that was it. That was it. And it just took off from there.
And we actually talked about that, how you was different when it came to him. You know, how you was just, the way you talked about him, like you breathed so much light and manifested so much that I don't even think you even knew that she was already manifesting. Like she was, the way she spoke about you, like I said, it just made me want to get to know you because the way she talked about you. Because I'm going to tell you, when I first saw you, I thought you was somebody different. I thought you was Anthony Cherry.
Listen.
Girl.
I was like, why is Anthony Cherry everything?
Listen, I had people on me about him. I ain't even going to go there. But I done had a lot of people walk up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get that all the time. Like, let me make this record straight. That man, no disrespect to him, but he's nothing like me. It's nothing, I'm a different breed. I come from a different cloth, you know what I'm saying? So I don't take it offensive, but I'm just going to be real. That man is nothing like me. Until somebody can fill these shoes, then I'll go ahead and be like, yeah, we do look alike. But, nah, I can't.
So where did your hustle come from? Like, what do you think your hustle and your drive? Like, what's your background as far as?
Okay.
Because we talked a little bit about, you know, serving time and stuff like that on the last video that we did together.
Okay, right.
So, where did that hustle come from?
My mother. So my father went through a situation when he was 25, 26 years old. He was working for the railroad, and my father was born in 44. So back then, from 44 to 60, 65, the black and white era was heavy.
Oh, yeah.
So my daddy ended up, for something of my knowledge, they ended up retiring my daddy at the age of 26.
Wow.
And from that moment, me growing up, studying my daddy and seeing, because my daddy after that never had a job, just never. And I used to go hard on my daddy. Like, I'm going to be real. I used to be like, man, my daddy ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. But where I'm at blame at is not taking the time to know why my daddy was going through that. And once I realized what was going on, they broke his heart. Like, they broke his whole system, because driving train, from what my mother told me, trains was his stuff. That was his thing. Being that my daddy was a train driver, he was a train engineer. So that was just his model. And then for them to take it from him, it was like they crushed him. So growing up, I seen my mama just, that she took over. As a black woman, she's different. And I wish I can like write a book and hand that out to every black woman around her. To that, the No Excuse. She's a main character of No Excuse. If she would have put excuse in it, then I probably wouldn't be the son that I am for her. So it started from her, then moving on and seeing that, okay, mama always working. She worked for the school system for 25 years. Not only that, she was selling Mary Kay. Then she had Victoria's Secrets. Like, I'm seeing my mama do all of this stuff. And I'm like, well, damn. But then it was her having to talk with me that was like, Lance, whatever you do, never limit yourself and learn as much as you can. And ever since she told me that,
he tells me that too all the time.
Like, I kept it. And that's where, honestly, my hustle. And it wasn't just within it. I took that for everything. When I wake up, I'm trying to learn something new. I'm going to be my best at it. If I'm out here doing this, or if I'm doing my music, if I'm doing everything, I want to learn more than. So if I sit down and make this design, what can I do tomorrow to change this design to make it different? That's the way that I think.
I never seen nothing like it. Like, he's very, like, his drive is, I've never seen nothing like it. To where sometimes he don't even really like get the proper amount of rest, because he's always on go. You know what I'm saying?
I told y'all, y'all think I be lying when I say I don't sleep.
And I just be like,
I don't sleep for real.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I still try to do what I can, you know, to try to lessen the load. But for the most part, he been doing this. You know, I'm just seeing it. You know, but he been doing this.
What about you, like being a mother? Because you got 3 beautiful girls.
Thank you.
How do you say, okay, I'm gonna go all in and be an entrepreneur, knowing that you have the responsibilities that you have? You know, like being a mother, working until you started your business. How did you go about doing that? Like, where did your hustle come from?
I think time management is very important. That's something that I was taught before in college, how essential time management is, you know, and I was also taught too that where there is no order, there's chaos. So naturally with me and my my personality trait naturally is order. So that kind of came easy to me. So I'm always trying to make sure that not only is there time management, but there's also order, you know. And granted, things are not always going to work out as planned, but proper planning to me also plays a part. And I feel like that helps me somewhat, you know, to be able to balance and manage certain things and areas as far as a mother, keeping the house clean, spending time with the kids, you know, because there's a lot of things I'm responsible for too outside of just being a mother. You see what I'm saying? So, and I just keep going. You know, I kind of try to piggyback off of him, and sometimes there's times when I do slack, and that's when I'm hit with no excuse. So, but other than that,
it's a back and forth. I'm hit with the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So the no excuse, basically the broad, I guess the way I basically can explain no excuse is accountability. You know, is in ownership, because we always make excuses or we always putting stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if you really want it, make it happen. Like, no excuse. You see what I'm saying? So I just feel like you have a little bit of empowerment when you put it on, you know? Because anything throughout your day, you can easily be like, you know, you can put it off, or you can shift in a different way, you know what I'm saying, towards the way you should really be going. You feel me? So I just feel like no excuse is basically ownership, you know what I'm saying, empowerment and accountability, you know?
Apply yourself before you can apply that pressure.
All right, so we back with the merch.
Hey.
Just had to take a little quick intermission. So look, let's talk about relationships, right? Working together, living together, raising kids together. How has that been? Like, how is the relationship dynamic with trying to run a full-time business?
Okay, let me answer this as a real father. It's tough. It's tough because I'm dealing with both sides of the board of, me personally, I'm keeping almost 3 different households. I'm juggling 3 different households, and that's dealing with my kids. So it's being tough trying to keep myself together mentally, really mentally. I ain't worried about the physical part, but mentally keeping myself together and just making sure that each one of them I'm balancing. Like she said, time management. My thing is balance. Like, trying to balance everything out. We talk about it all the time. That's one of the things that I try to work on. Balance, me, honestly, is the best thing that you should be trying to work on when it comes to trying to be a family man and be a full-time business owner or full-time worker. It don't matter. It's still, me, honestly, I feel like I put more work in being a business owner than working for a job. And that's only because I want it more than I want a job. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to juggle, balance, time management, you know, just making sure that I'm not only keeping myself sane, but I'm making sure everybody else around me is cool too. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, man, everything peaches and cream. We go through our battles, you know. We are adults. We are humans at the end of the day. You know, we're not perfect, but we do try our best to make sure we be as perfect as we can. So it takes the leverage of stress. It takes the leverage of whatever can cause unnecessary energy to come in. We big on that. Energy is the factor. Every day it's got to be positive, no matter what it is. Even after certain situations, we have to turn it positive, because if you don't, that leads to something else. So yeah, it's not been, you know, it's been worth it.
It's been worth it. Oh, I love
put it that way.
It's been worth it.
It's been worth it, for real.
What's your take on the relationship and the business?
What he said, basically, it's been hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody will be able to do it.
Man, what?
Everybody be able to do it. But like I said, it's something that you have to work toward, and want. You know what I'm saying? That's where the no excuse come from. You got to make it work. You know, regardless of what trials and tribulations or what you're up against. It's resilience. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you have to push through if it's something that you really want. You can talk about it all day long, but how bad do you really want it? You know what I'm saying? So I want us to work, you know, and I guess that's why we keep coming back, you know. I mean, but it's not easy. And, but like you said, it's been worth it, you know, because it seems like when we get past it, we just get stronger, you know, and it's
them trials.
And we're learning. We're still learning, you know.
Yeah, we still fresh. I mean, like I said, it's with us, we only been 3 years, you know, and then, like I've had conversation with her, us having a child within us knowing each other is like more of, instead of, it gave us a push to now we have to know each other because we have a connection now. We have something that as one, we have to do what we got to do, but we still got to come together as parents to make sure that we're setting the right example for this new life that we brought into the world and other lives around us. So yeah, it's been a hellified trip, but it's like I said, it's been worth it. It's been worth it because what she said to me earlier, if it come easy, I don't want it. It's not. So if our love for each other is gonna be easy, then maybe we might need to look at it. Do we really? But I would rather take the hardship in it to know. I think you'll know when somebody love you on your hardships. Like if you go through certain situations and it's still there, that's love. Right. That's love. It's easy to walk away, but it's hard to keep it together. But are you willing to go through that hardship?
So let me ask you this: being a power couple, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because y'all building towards an empire.
Yes.
So do you see marriage in continuing to build that black family with marriage, or what are your thoughts when it comes to?
Do you want the knowledge side on this, or do you want the female side on this? Now, marriage, yes. Okay, marriage, yes. I do see it, and I'm saying that because one thing you do not see much nowadays is marriage. It's very, like, relationships almost don't even last a year, 2 years, depending on what's the situation. And then the more we go into the years, the more the word family, the word togetherness, the word one is starting to get took out the picture. And more people are starting to be, it's all about self. I don't need you. I don't want you. But at the end of the day, when you come to that lonely moment, you're going to need somebody. You're not going to want to be alone forever. You know what I'm saying? Like a saying I heard Drake say, my mama told me she don't want to die old and gray, alone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like just having that togetherness, man, is like the whole key point to it, man. If you're not together, it's not gonna come. It's just not gonna come. It's not gonna come.
What you think?
Yes, but when he makes me mad, it's a hell no. I'm not gonna, you know, because to me, I don't think it shouldn't be that hard. It should be hard, but it shouldn't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's really all just work. It's all just work, because he says oftentimes, like, I fix this over here, and then it's always something else. It's always something else with you. It's like he feels like he can't make me happy, but to me, I feel like I don't think that I'm just that hard to really just make happy, you know. But he's working toward it, and he's always back for more, always up for the challenge. And to me, that's what makes me feel like, okay, he's really trying. You know, he's really trying, because it's not just so much our daughter. You know, she plays a part, but that's a lot of people stay together for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like he comes back because there's something that he does see in me, and I let and allow, and vice versa. There's something that's keeping us together, and that's why we keep coming back. So, but yes, for the most part, yes, there's days, and then there's some days I'm just like, no. And I just think it's just because I just be angry. It's just because I be mad.
Right. So, I'm going to ask you one last question, then we're going to get out the little relationship. You know what I'm saying? What about, like, the image of him being a rapper, right? Because he's a rapper. You know, he a playboy. He has to have the image of PChase. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. I do this, I do that. He DJing and stuff. How does that make you feel? Like, do you think that plays a role? Like, I hope ain't no girls looking at him. You know how we get. You know how we get a little
girl. Oh, yeah.
You know how we get though. We
No,
women.
like,
We can't help but to think that somebody looking at our man. You
right.
with a whole bunch of beautiful women.
Right.
You know.
Talk to him, baby.
Talk to me, quiet.
Talk to him.
I mean, there's always a possibility in that doubt there. And sometimes, even if I did have a ring, I honestly feel like it would still be there. Because we're human, you know what I'm saying? And there's things that I, myself, may fall short with, you know, as far as his lady, you know, that he might sometimes, his mom might get away from him in that particular area in our relationship, or, you know, it might stray him, you know, astray, you know. Like I said, I do the best I can, but yes, it is a concern of mine when he is in the studio, or if he is out, you know, DJing, you know. That's where trust comes in at, you know. And I try my very best, you know, to keep it, you know, on a respectful and trustworthy, you know, relationship with him. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge because it just is, you know. I know that there's, and then he's an ass man. You know what I'm saying? He's an ass man. So, and you know, I don't have very much of it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you know, sometimes if we out together and you know, I see a big booty chick, you know, I'm just like, oh, I know he probably gonna look, you know, little stuff like that. But I just feel like all that stuff, it comes with it. It all comes with it. But he comes home and I'm where he really wants to be, and you know, he keeps coming back for a reason, and you know, we're trying to make it work, and we keep pushing forward. And I mean, hopefully possessive in a sense, but I try to give him his freedom because he is a man at the end of the day. But I don't have a problem with checking him with certain things, or letting him know and communicating when I feel uncomfortable about certain things. And I will go through his phone. Have you ever went through your husband's phone? Do you feel necessary, or do you feel like
my husband's boring? He's boring.
There's no reason to go through his phone.
I mean, it's not that it's no reason to go through his phone.
I'm just messing play. I don't mean no harm play.
But the way I grew up is different. I've never known a man to have just one woman. So I grew, like, me and my husband is trying to work towards that. My insecurities with that.
Gotcha.
From my daddy being married and dating my mom for 30 years, from all my brothers having multiple women.
That's
so
where
it's,
I come from, right.
It's harder with me. It's like cheating would be the easy thing to do.
Right.
You cheating on me would be so much easier than the other stuff we have to deal with financially, our kids, our parents. All that stuff is what makes the marriage hard. Not the fact that I'm insecure thinking he's cheating, because I'm like, a man is a man. You're going to do what you're going to do regardless. I can't stop you from looking at another woman, but to me, that would be easier to deal with. Infidelity, to me, would be easier to deal with than the stuff we have to really deal with.
That's like vividly right in your face, right.
So, because that wasn't normal for me.
Gotcha.
Somebody with one woman, that's not normal to me. A man not hitting a woman, that's not normal to me.
For real?
A man not cussing at me, that was not normal to me. So, it's a learning thing. Anyways.
No, and I understand, because I mean, I come from that background. My mom and daddy was married for like over 30-something years. So that's why I'm in I taught from I know what love. Like, I seen my mama go through the mishaps with him, through him being an alcoholic, through the abuse and all of that stuff. But then at the end of the day, she still was right there when that man died, in his room, in his bed. So it showed me, that was the true umbrella to show me love. You know, everybody taught love, but can you deal with somebody's trials and tribulations all the way to that point, and then you can still tell that person, go ahead, you good, you can pass, you know, like, that's love to me, you know what I'm saying? So, me learning love, you have to deal with people's baggage. You got to be willing to deal with whatever comes with somebody, because it's not, I don't give a fuck, no, excuse my language, I don't care what nobody say, but you're not going to have no excellent relationship. You're going to have excellent times during, but you're not going to have an excellent relationship. So you got to be ready to deal with the good times and the bad. But you really got to be ready to deal with the bad times. Because the good times is what you want to see, period. But it's the bad times that we all got to be like, okay, just keep it pushing.
Well, let's get off this topic.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyways, so congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You did the co-starter program. Can you tell us a little bit about co-starters and you winning the pitch and?
So co-starters came from me actually hearing about it. To be real, I was doing a little pouting because I was at a point where I was like, yo, like I'm really trying to make a move and I need this move. Like, where is this move at? So then somebody came to me and was like, hey, co-starters. So me being the past guy that I used to be, it was a fee to be able to enter the class. I was like, oh my God. So if I go to this and spend this much money and win, this is how I really thought about it. Go spend this much money and then at the end of this I can get this much money. Holy God. Yeah, that's the flip of all flips. So I'm like,
so you already knew you was going to win. You came in with the mindset that I'm going to win this pitch.
That was my whole thing of being like, here's a small investment that can bring me something big. Go for it. So I went for it, but I'm not going to lie. Even though it was every Saturday, it felt like it was every day. Because the homework, I had to do the homework, then I had to do homework, and then I had to do my work. And so it was a point where I almost gave up. I'm not gonna lie, Eva. Like I almost walked out that classroom, and then the man would tell us at the end of this class, you start with 10 people, but it's going to be only 7. It never fails. It'll always be 7 people to end the class, and I'd be darned, it was 7 people that ended the class. But me walking into it, I was more mentally prepared to being like, if I don't win, at least I, went through the program. So I didn't want to have myself wrapped up in being like, am I going to win? Am I going to lose? Am I going to win? So it was more like, just get it done. Crazy stuff ever. When it started, I was outside helping this dude take a cooler to somebody's car. In the midst of this, the teacher came out and had a brown bag and had numbers in it, 1 through 10, 1 through 7. So everybody picked a number, and I was the last one. So he finds me and was like, yo, I've been looking for you, man, get your number. So I go reach in the bag, and I'm just fondling. He sit there and just stop and look at me like, bro, what is you doing? So I'm like, I'm looking for a number. He like, bro, it's only one number in there. So I'm like, oh, God. Pull the number out. The last person to pick the number, but I'm the first person to go. I'm not even going to lie. That's when I knew I was going to win. What made me verify is when one of the classmates walked past me and said, that's in the Bible. Remember, the last come first, but the first come last. And that's why I was like, you know what? All right. And that was really a confidence build up because I really now have to be like, oh, God, I'm first. And I wasn't expecting to be first. Everybody had their little stuff, this, that. So I was like, you know what? Just go in and kill it. And I just walked up, gave it my best, and I practiced like I practiced. Y'all, I practiced before I went. I didn't practice, I learned something the other day. It's not practice make perfect, but the perfect practice is what it gets you there. So I had to prep myself to be able to get it. And I've been noticing that even from my music. I came in when I had my tour in North Carolina. I came in and told myself, you will not get up on that stage and fumble your words. Get it together. So I spent all that night. I got up early that morning and spent like 5 to 6 hours sitting in the studio, just constantly just hearing the music, rap it by myself. And when I got up there, it was just like, okay, your turn. So boom, it was licensed. And I ended up winning the trip, being connected to YSL. So
oh wow,
I yearn to learn. So everything that happens to me is just another building block for me to be able to see what I can do next.
What does this win mean for your household? Like putting back the money into your business and growing even bigger?
Man, this is it's more than a victory for us. This is a victory for everybody. It was more of a victory to see that I had my mama there, I was there, and my son. And to have 3 generations in one room see this happen. It was like my mama showed me, look, I did this, because she graduated with her doctor's degree at 74 years old. So I was like, oh my God, mama, your shoes this big. So now it was my turn. My son was struggling in school for a minute, so this was a perfect example for me to use. Son, ain't no reason for you to be doing what you're doing. And it definitely ain't no excuse to be doing because your daddy did it. So now he doing excellent too. So everything was like, God positions stuff in our lives for a reason. And I truly feel that everything happens for a reason. And I live my life off of that. So this moment here, this is a reason. Like, this is I pray and I put energy that, and hearing what you have said in the past about where you're trying to go with what you got going on, I pray that this right here be some type of building block or stepping stone to help you get even further. You know what I'm saying? Because like I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I love what y'all doing.
And like this is it. We need more of this. We need more of this. Like, who would ever thought, Eva, when we was growing up, that we would be right here right now? So it's meant.
I get it. I trust me. I'm there with you. So look, y'all, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to have them back.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to come back. Yeah.
So do y'all want to give out any shout outs? You know, shout out your kids, your family. Any shout outs?
Shout out to you for inviting us on the show. I appreciate it. But you had mentioned this about a year ago. You was like, I'd love to have y'all on the show, you know. So you had already threw it out there, and we finally made it. So thank you, you know. And like you said, best wishes to you, you know. And keep going. No excuse.
No excuse. Look.
No excuse.
Yes.
And shout out to my man, you know, because this wouldn't be possible. And so much more. This is just a small little bit, you know, as opposed to all the other things that he has taught me and he has shown me and he has, you know what I'm saying? So he's definitely a leader, you know, and I'm kind of just like the follower. You know?
I love it. I love it. You his rib.
Need it. Shout out to her, like, for real, because I mean, she's seen it. I promise you, I went to people before her and let them know my vision. And they didn't want to hear it. But then, I'm not even going to stunt. And I'm going to just let you know this, just to be real. I seen somebody post on Facebook when I had became serious with you. Oh, my God. He was really real. I lost the dude that was going to be my boyfriend, and now he's happy now. And I'm going to be real with that. And that's just... I tried to show the vision, but nobody wanted to see it. And this is honestly just not a person. This is the city too. You know, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna be real. I've been doing a lot of stuff. And you know what? I see it all the time. Who's this? Who's that? Who's that? Who's this? And I ain't gonna stunt. I look down them posts and I be like, where's my name at? But you know, I had to think to myself, bro, the reason that your name ain't spoke is because you in a whole different ball game. You're in a whole different bracket, and can't nobody compare themselves to nobody else but you. And that's the way I got to look at it. So I'm going to continue to keep being that way. So, you know, but shout out to you. Shout out, thank you. Like, yo, shout out to you for this moment. And I put nothing but good energy on you that this is going to be, like, keep going, baby. Keep going. Because you giving people platforms to be able, if y'all not real on her show, you don't even come on her show. Like, real shit. And you doing that. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody that's supporting. Those who not supporting, shout out to you too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your energy that I'm really feeling. You know what I'm saying? The support gonna be there, but the energy that I'm really feeling is those that's not supporting me, because y'all the ones that's making me do what I'm doing so y'all can see it. You know what I'm saying? So
make you go harder.
Yeah, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? No excuse, man. Straight.
Well, I love y'all. It's straight. No excuse.
No excuse. Thank you, Eve, baby.